Disclaimer: this shouldn't be said, seeing as this is a trophy hunting video, but there will be spoilers for Shin Megami Tensei 5. If you do not wish to see these spoilers, please skip the video entirely. Thank you. Hi, I'm the Musido, a Calavera VTuber currently fused with another man to become more powerful. Wait, that doesn't sound right. I should probably rewrite that. It's now time to tackle one of the longer Platinum Trophy hunts, as we are going to cover... This is a re-release of Shin Megami Tensei 5 that was previously released on the Switch, and this time, it's released on every console, so I have access to a version of the game that runs more than 30 FPS. Now enough making fun of the original Switch release. How's the Platinum experience? Well, according to Power Picks this time, yeah. At the time I got the Platinum Trophy, the PSN Profiles guide wasn't out yet. I will let you know if it is out by the time this video is released. It sits at a 5 out of 10 difficulty, takes 100 hours to get, and requires 6 playthroughs. You did not hear that wrong. I actually have to do this. I will explain why when we get to it. As always, all runs are streamed live on twitch.tv/nomusido and highlighted soon after, as well as being uploaded on my VODs channel. Alright, no more delays, let's get started. Starting off, I don't take my lady's hand to go into the Canon of the Creation, and the world ends. Well, shit. As I step foot into the wasteland, I get into a fight with a group of demons, and before I could get demolished, this weird robot fellow appears in front of me and asks me to take his hand. Without much to lose, I take his hand and become one with him, giving me my first trophy, the Fire of Condemnation. And that's the only story-related trophy we'll be getting for now. No, I'm being dead serious. We don't get any more story-related trophies until the very end. Oh, and by the way, each playthrough I will be going for a specific ending, the first one being the true neutral ending in the Canon of Creation. While going through the tutorial area, I entered an enemy encounter, and I got a Mitama in my battle, which are the rare demons in the game. Basically, the same as the Golden Hands from Persona 3 and 4, the Treasure Demons in Persona 5, and the Metal Slimes from Dragon Quest. I defeated the Mitama and got the trophy, Sharp Eyes and Sharper Blade. I continued on, clearing the first abscess that gives me miracles, which I do need to earn the trophy, Architect of Divine Providence, for 120 miracles learned. But for now, with enough glory, I was able to learn 5 for Conductor of Divine Providence. Now to explain the press turn system to those who haven't played SMT before, so while there are 4 turns to use when you have a full party, you can actually get 8. This is mostly done by striking weaknesses, getting critical attacks, or passing turns, but you can lose your turns by missing attacks or having them dodged, absorbed, reflected, or blocked. Why did I explain this? Well, it's mainly because it has to do with the next trophy, Press Turn King, for striking 100 weaknesses. After that, I just finished up 5 side quests in order to get the trophy Netherworld Handyman. While I was fusing demons in order to fill out the Compendium, this happened. This is something that has a low chance of happening, but since I was fusing during a full moon, that chance skyrocketed, and I unlocked Whims of Fate because of it. Shortly after, I got the trophy, You Ready? After using 20 Magatsuhi skills, which are the abilities you are able to use when you fill up that red bar on the side. Then I didn't play the game for like 2 weeks because I took a week off for trophy hunting to play through the newly released Final Fantasy XIV expansion, Dawn Trail. And I do mean this, by the way. I was hunting GTA 3 at the same time as this, and I took a break from that as well. A new feature introduced in Vengeance are Magatsuhi demons, which are just more powerful demons that you should mostly try to avoid. But for the trophy, Eat or Be Eaten, you have to be one of these fighters. Speaking of battles, we have to trigger reinforcements 4 times in one battle and win it in order to become a battle-hardened god. If it seems like I'm speeding through a bunch of these trophies, it's mainly because there's not much to talk about. With the Demon Navigator, they can find some items in the overworld at certain points. You just have to investigate 100 points overall to get Scavenger God. Remember that little explanation from losing turns from earlier? We have to make our enemies lose 50 turns for Press Turn Usurper. Next up, I became the Rizzler, or rather, a Silver Tongue God, by recruiting 30 demons. And then I didn't get a trophy for another 2 weeks. Not because I took a break from the game like last time, but because there was nothing noteworthy that I did while progressing through the story. With most of Chiyoda done, I decided to go back to the second area, Shinagawa, and collect the Mimon there, which I need to do since there's 200 of them to collect across the 4 areas. In Shinagawa, I collected my 100th Mimon for Seeker of Lost Children. Also, I forgot one thing to mention is that with Demon Navigators, you can get an item called Demon Boxes, which you need to gift your demon wives or husbands, I'm not judging, and giving 20 of them gives you a humble offering, the trophy, not an actual item. Also, before I move on, there's a trophy that I can only get in the Canon of Creation, but I'm far too underpowered for it, so I'll get it in the 3 other Canon of Creation playthroughs. In the World of Shadows, there is a thing called Essence Fusions, where I can inherit other demon skills and affinities. For ever-changing essence, I have to do 20 of these. I also did a bit of scavenger hunting in certain spots, getting 400 batches of treasure for them, or Archaeophile, which I can sell for Maka, aka money to use in demon negotiations, and throwing 100,000 Maka at them in an attempt to get them to join me gives me Maka Bean. Some of the essences that you can get in the game come from Aogami husks that you can get in the overworld. However, there are only 15 in the game, which is a bit of a problem since we have to collect them 20 times, so we just use 5 of them and then grab them again, and Aogami Extraction Squad is ours. Finally, a trophy not worth skimming over since the first trophy! Sorry, I got a bit excited. I promise it will happen again. Now, why do I say this? It's because this is one of 3 trophies that I need to get for the ending that I'm going for. In the side quest, Fion's Resolve, I have to beat this twink named Fion McCall. It's a hard-fought battle, but once McCall falls in battle, he joins my party with the trophy in his pockets. Oh god, there's another long stream of trophies before the next important one. Look, I can't just say I did this and got a trophy for it without it being super repetitive, so let's just speed through this next batch, yeah? Alright, cool. I interacted with 19 demon statues for Scholar of Idolatry, Guardian of Glory for getting 50 amalgams, Savior of Lost Streamer for rescuing all 200 Mimon, Blue Buddy for getting recognition with 10 demons by leveling them up and giving them gifts, Almighty Fixer for doing 90 side quests, Abscess Absolution for clearing 24 abscesses, Talisman Collector for collecting 36 different talismans, and Compendium Scholar for filling 75% of the Demon Compendium. Yeah, that's how many miscellaneous trophies there are compared to the story trophies. Now for the second of the 3 side quests needed for true neutral ending, that being Succession of Ra. I just have to beat Kansu for being cringe, and I'm awarded with a trophy for my troubles, as well as having 2 of the 3 quests done for true neutral. But before I do that, there is one more miscellaneous trophy to get before we get to the end of the first playthrough, that being Omnipotent Strike for dealing 9,999 damage in one single attack. So what I did was just run into one of the Mitama and boosted one of my party members' magic attacks, and struck the Mitama's weakness. It was that easy. Next, it's time to get the last quest I need for true neutral, that being a Universe in Peril. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it whatsoever. This quest. So what this quest is, to fight with the original super boss for the original Switch release of SMT5, Shiva. And man, this boss is a bit of a fight, mainly because of 2 reasons. One, his attack, Tandava. What this does is deal a lot of almighty damage, which you can't nullify in any way, and puts your defense to the lowest it can go. And 2, one of the demons he summons, Ananta. Why is this demon such a pain? Well, watch. Oh my god. Yeah, they just completely healed Shiva, essentially resetting the fight. It took many tries, many strategy changes, and 2 hours, but I finally managed to take him down, giving me a trophy, and finally getting all 3 quests needed for true neutral. Great! Only 3 more super bosses to fight in the future. Now, to finish the game, I go to the final dungeon and get to the path alignment door. I choose the bottom option and go to the final stretch of the game and fight this path's bosses. Upon reaching the throne, I pick in the bottom option again. Before we continue, I would like to point out that the original release of SMT5's True Neutral path was criticized for the difficulty imbalance between Shiva and the final boss, having Shiva be way harder than Lucifer to the point where it's noticeable. Now, did they fix this? Yes. Yes, they did. Holy shit, this boss is really hard too, and that is not because of the boss essentially having a boss reset like Shiva, but because of the fact that he's resistant to every element except for the dark. He has new abilities that can depower you, and because of his ability, Morningstar. Like Ananta from the Shiva battle, this is a DPS check, but unlike Ananta, it's a full party wipe if you don't destroy it at a time, and in each and every attempt at this battle, even in the winning one, I never destroyed it. Not once. I went at it for another 2 hours, with each attempt ending at Morningstar, and I just gave in. I lowered the difficulty. Listen, as much as I wanted to play on normal, I just wanted to finish the first playthrough, and even in the winning run, I almost died still. 2 more Morningstars hit my party, but because of the resolve and the revive item in my inventory, I still managed to keep going. With a 3rd Morningstar in the field, and Lucifer being at low health, I knew I had to go all in. So, did I win? There you fucking go, Jesus Christ. Finally, I get my first ending and my first ending trophy. Farewell, my friend. Now, beat the game 5 more times. For the next playthrough, I take Milady's hand to be put in Canon of Vengeance, and the world fucking ends. Huh. The illusion of free choice, everybody. So I just go through the entire game, grabbing Architect of Divine Providence for getting 120 miracles, and we end up in Shinjuku, aka the place from Persona 5. Near the end of the area, we go through a very foggy section that ends with the area boss, Agrat. But before we do that, Agrat sends projections to you as you go through the area. You just have to defeat 2 of them and get awarded a trophy with it. Once we defeat the area boss, we are treated to a cutscene where 2 of our friends die, Aogami gets extracted from our body, and our last friend becomes very evil, as well as us fusing with Tsukuyomi to become a Nahobino again. But none of that is important. What is important is that we get to pick up the 21st Periapt we need for Periapt collection. Now it's time for the end of the game, and you're probably wondering, already? Well, yes. The majority of the trophies can be attained in your first playthrough, everything else can be attained in the other 5 playthroughs, plus every playthrough from here on out can be beaten in 3 hours. Yeah, the game is that short. So for this ending, you just have to be on the law path, which you can do by picking the top option in story decisions and doing law side quests. You'll know you're in the law path if your character's cursor spins clockwise in the Tokyo overworld, so you just have to go through the final dungeon again, beat the path bosses, and you're finally... Wait, is that Lucifer? Oh no. Okay, it's just the first phase, so I don't have to suffer through that again. Once Lucy is killed, the second ending is done. Now it's time for the third. In the third playthrough, we go into creation and go through the game once again. But before we do that, we have to get one route exclusive trophy. In Chiyoda, just go through the area and find Ishtar without weakening her. I wonder why you have to weaken her. Wait, are those 8 turns? Thank God I'm overleveled. And screw you, Ishtar. You're not even the best character in Fate. I think. I don't know, I haven't seen Fate. Now we just have to go to the final dungeon again, picking the bottom option again to go on the neutral path. And once we go to the final stretch again, we choose to destroy the throne and get ready to fight Lucifer. Wait, that's not Lucifer, that's the end of the game. I start up Canon of Vengeance for my 4th playthrough, but I don't finish the playthrough immediately since this is the last opportunity that I have to fight Satan. I start up the fight with Satan and looked at how low the damage I was doing and said, "F it, I'm 4 playthroughs deep, it feels so tiring, I'm lowering the difficulty." Hope you guys understand. So beating Satan not only gives me a trophy, but also gives me a miracle to increase my level cap to 150, which I will need for my final playthrough in Godborn mode. Now, for this ending, I just have to be in the path of chaos, which I can get to by picking the bottom answer in story decisions and doing chaos side quests. You'll know if you're on the chaos path if your character cursor in the Tokyo overworld rotates counterclockwise. So we just go through the final dungeon, beat the bosses, fight this fucking demon again, and I'm done with the 4th playthrough. But we do get a goth girlfriend in this ending, I guess. From here on, all that was left was 2 more Canon of Creation playthroughs, but in the 5th playthrough, we had 2 more super bosses to do, lowering the difficulty and fighting Demi-Fiend and Masakato to get the final 2 super boss trophies. Now for the 5th run through the final dungeon, picking the top option this time, fighting the bosses as always, and defeating Lucifer once again, getting the 5th ending. Tired yet? Well, stay awake because I have 1 more playthrough to do. It's the final playthrough. Wait, that's copyrighted. We start up Godborn mode, and before we get to the ending of the game, it's time to finally fill up the Demon Compendium. With the ability to fuse Satan and Lucifer, I can finally finish up the Compendium. So I fused them and nothing happened. So apparently I didn't fill up the Compendium. I'm at 99%, so I was most likely missing 1 demon out of 277. So I went and cross-referenced the Compendium and a list of all the demons in the game to see if one of them didn't pop up. And soon enough, I found the missing demon, Mephisto. At first, I was confused since I thought I did do his quest in the first playthrough. As it turns out, finishing his quest doesn't give me Mephisto. I also had to speak with an NPC so that I can get him in my party, thereby putting him in the Compendium. Why is the game like this, man? But anyways, we get to the World of Shadows, and we're now done with the Compendium since I got Compendium Lore Master. Now, you know the drill by now. I blaze through the final dungeon, choose the middle option, fight bosses, bitch slap the big bad fallen angel himself, getting myself done with Godborn mode for Will of the Godborn, the final ending for World of the Myriad Gods, and now I'm finally done with the prerequisite. Yeah, believe it or not, we're still not done. There's 2 more trophies that I need before the Platinum Trophy, and I still haven't explained why the 6 playthroughs were needed in the first place. Well, here comes Purger of Memories, where I have to do every virtual trainer battle sequence. Here's why you need the 6 playthroughs. You have to unlock every one of these in one save file, and each ending unlocks one. And you can't cheat your way out of it too, since doing every Creation and Vengeance ending unlocks 2 sequences. So, how many of these did I have to do? 18, with multiple battles in each one. Now I just do each one, going through at least 40 battles, and I finally get Purger of Memories. So that leaves one more trophy. What do I have to do now? Do what I just did, that the enemies are at level 100. Oh my god! Look, I lowered the difficulty again, mainly because at this point, it felt like it just dragged on, and around the time that I got this platinum, Astro Bot had just released and I really wanted to play it. So I sped through the battles once again, beating everyone for He Who Revels in Carnage, and finally getting King Eternal Immortal Unbroken, a platinum trophy. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around during that entire YAP session, I would really appreciate it if you liked the video, subscribed, and rang the bell to get notified whenever I upload. And I would really appreciate it if you follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/Nomacito, as all my runs are streamed live there. Anyways, enough of my yapping. I will see you all next time. See ya!